The greatest betrayal in retail history didn't happen at a luxury boutique, but in the aisles of America's favorite discount tool store. For decades, Harbor Freight was the sanctuary for the weekend warrior, a place where a 20% off coupon was your golden ticket and a free flashlight was a guarantee. But in 2026, that era is dead. Customers are walking into stores only to find restocking fees that punish returns, prices that rival big box competitors, and a membership program that feels more like a paywall than a perk. The cheap tool paradise has declared war on its own loyal base, and the backlash is furious.
To understand the fury boiling over in 2026, you have to remember what this place used to be. 5 years ago, you walked in, grabbed a flyer, and walked out with a multimeter you didn't pay a dime for. It was a simple transaction. The tools were cheap, the quality was questionable, but the value was undeniable. Today, that unspoken contract has been shredded. Walk into a store now, and you're greeted by icon displays that cost hundreds of dollars and Hercules drills that claim to beat Milwaukee. The dusty shelves of bargain bin items are being replaced by glossy, premium branding that feels suspiciously expensive. Longtime fans aren't just annoyed, they feel like the store they built is evicting them for a wealthier clientele.
Nothing symbolizes the shift more painfully than the death of the famous 20% off coupon. For years, this slip of paper was currency. You could use it on almost anything, no questions asked. But in late 2025 and early 2026, finding a usable general coupon became harder than finding a 10mm socket. The company replaced simplicity with a complex web of instant savings and brand-specific exclusions that require a law degree to navigate. Now, when a coupon does appear, the fine print list of exclusions is longer than the receipt itself. You can't use it on compressors, you can't use it on jacks, and you certainly can't use it on the new premium brands. They took away the one thing that made every trip feel like a victory. Longtime shoppers remember the free magnetic parts dishes, the free tarps, and the free batteries that lasted exactly 20 minutes. Those loss leaders were legendary. They were the bait that got you in the door to spend $50 on things you didn't need. But as of 2026, the free with any purchase coupon has become an endangered species, spotted only during rare holiday events. Instead of rewarding you for showing up, the new strategy demands you spend a specific threshold, often $25 or $30, just to get a free bucket. It shifts the psychology from a fun treasure hunt to a calculated transaction. Customers notice when the generosity stops, and for many, the disappearance of these small perks was the final signal that the fun is over. If the coupon changes were annoying, the strict enforcement of restocking fees in 2025 turned annoyance into rage. The policy technically existed before, but reports from across the country indicate a massive crackdown. Try to return a generator, a compressor, or even certain large tool chests, and you are slapped with a 20% fee. On a $500 generator, that is $100 gone just for trying it out. Management argues this prevents the weekend rental abuse, where people buy tools for one job and return them, which is fair. But honest customers returning defective or unsuitable items are getting caught in the crossfire. It creates a hostile checkout environment where you're afraid to buy big-ticket items because a mistake will cost you dearly. If you've ever felt the pain of a voided warranty or a missing coupon, make sure to hit subscribe and ring the bell. We investigate changes in the industries you rely on every week. Next up is the membership trap. The Inside Track Club was once a decent deal for heavy users, but it has morphed into a gatekeeping mechanism. In 2026, the best sales are increasingly locked behind this paid membership wall. You see a great price on a jack stand, but the small print says member only. Non-members pay $20 or $30 more. This forces casual shoppers to do math in the aisle to decide if paying $45 for a membership just to save $20 makes sense. It feels manipulative. Instead of offering deals to everyone to move product, they are taxing you for the privilege of paying the old normal price. Many longtime members are letting their subscriptions lapse, citing that the exclusive coupons just aren't exclusive enough anymore. The most visible change is the aggressive pivot to Tier 1 competitor brands.
Harbor Freight doesn't just want to sell you a hammer, they want to sell you an Icon professional brewing torque wrench plated in gold, metaphorically speaking. They are gunning for Snap-on, Matco, and Milwaukee. The quality of these new lines, like Icon hand tools and Hercules brushless power tools, is genuinely impressive. Nobody denies that. The problem is the price. When a Harbor Freight ratchet set creeps up to $130, you enter a different psychological bracket. You aren't the budget option anymore, you're a mid-tier competitor. The customer who has shopped there for 20 years didn't ask for premium, they asked for affordable. The cold, hard numbers show that the inflation inside these stores is staggering. The popular Daytona floor jacks, once the champion of value, at around $180, have seen price hikes pushing them well over $200, sometimes hitting $270 depending on the model and sale. Power stations that launched at $200 are now sitting at $280. We are seeing 30 to 40% increases on staple items in less than 3 years. While inflation is a global issue, Harbor Freight's prices seem to be outpacing the competition in some categories. When a discount tool store starts charging Home Depot prices, the entire reason for driving across town to the orange and white sign evaporates. Marketing teams at headquarters are obsessed with the Snap-on versus Icon comparison. You see it in their emails, their shelf talkers, and their sponsored content. They explicitly compare a $50 Icon tool to a $200 Snap-on equivalent. It is a bold strategy, but it carries a risk. By inviting the comparison, they are forcing customers to scrutinize quality like never before. A mechanic might buy a cheap wrench and accept a little slop in the gears. But when you tell him it's just as good as Snap-on and charge him a premium price, he expects perfection. Any failure becomes a viral moment, proving that it's still just Harbor Freight junk, damaging the very reputation they are trying to build. Tariffs and trade wars are impossible to ignore. Harbor Freight's business model is almost entirely dependent on Chinese manufacturing. The geopolitical tensions of 2025 and 2026 have hit them harder than almost anyone else in the tool game. Import duties have skyrocketed, and the company has passed those costs directly to you. While they claim to be diversifying into Vietnam and Taiwan, the bulk of their inventory is still coming from the same factories that are now subject to massive taxes. This external pressure forces their hand, but customers don't see the trade war. They just see a price tag that makes them wince and wonder why they shouldn't just buy American-made for a few dollars more. Beyond the restocking fees, the general atmosphere around returns is chilled. Stories are flooding forums about managers refusing returns without receipts, even when the purchase is looked up on a phone number. The satisfaction guarantee feels less guaranteed. In the past, the managers had broad discretion to make the customer happy. Now, corporate systems seem to lock them out, requiring strict adherence to policy. If you buy a tool, use it once, and it breaks on day 91, you might find yourself out of luck unless you bought the extended warranty. And speaking of extended warranties, the push to sell them at the register has become as aggressive as a used car lot, adding friction to every single purchase. The shift to digital-first coupons has alienated a huge slice of their demographic. The older mechanics and DIYers who aren't glued to their smartphones are finding themselves left out of the best deals. App-exclusive offers mean that if you walk in with just a catalog or a printout, you pay more. It's a data harvesting play. They want you on the app to track your habits and push notifications, but it frustrates the guy who just wants to buy a saw blade without downloading software. This digital gatekeeping creates a two-tiered system where the tech-savvy get the old prices and the traditional walk-in customer gets fleeced. It's efficient for corporate, but it feels cold and calculating to the consumer. With higher prices comes the expectation of higher quality control, and this is where the new Harbor Freight struggles. You might pay $100 for a professional tool, but you are still playing the lottery. One customer gets a unit that lasts a decade. The next guy gets one that smokes out of the box. At $20, you accepted that risk. At $120, it is unacceptable. The fancy Icon packaging looks great, but if the casting inside is still inconsistent, the brand equity vanishes. Social media is full of pictures of broken premium tools, and the comments are always the same. I could have bought DeWalt for this price. That sentiment is poison for a discount retailer.
Harbor Freight is no longer the sole destination for cheap tools. The rise of direct-to-consumer options on Amazon and the explosion of ultra-cheap platforms like Temu have squeezed them from the bottom. If you want a disposable tool for one use, Temu will sell it to you for $3 with free shipping. If you want a mid-tier tool, Amazon has Tecton and Gear Wrench delivering to your door the next day. Harbor Freight is stuck in the dangerous middle. They are too expensive to be the dirt-cheap option, but they lack the convenience of Amazon Prime. They are forcing customers to drive to a physical store to pay prices that aren't competitive anymore. It is a strategic squeeze that is emptying out their parking lots. Ultimately, the fury stems from an identity crisis. Customers are confused about whether this is a store for professional mechanics or for the guy fixing his lawnmower. By trying to be both, they are failing to satisfy either. The pros still trust the tool trucks because of the service, not just the metal. The DIYers are fleeing because the bargains are gone. The company has spent 5 years gentrifying its own brand, remodeling stores, and launching fancy lines, but they forgot that their foundation was built on being the cheap, cheerful, and slightly gritty underdog. When the underdog starts acting like the corporate overlord, the fans stop cheering and start looking for a new champion. The anger directed at Harbor Freight in 2026 isn't just about money, it's about the loss of a sanctuary. For years, this was the place where you could afford to dream big on a small budget. Now, that dream comes with a restocking fee and a membership tax. While the tools are better than ever, the soul of the store feels different. It has grown up, buttoned up, and priced up. For the loyal customer who was there from the beginning, it feels less like an upgrade and more like a goodbye.